Breaking news from the Middle East, where a U.S. drone strike killed one of Iran's most powerful military leaders overnight. The targeted killing of Major General Qasem Soleimani inside Iraq is a dramatic escalation in the confrontation between the U.S. and Iran.
The strike killing Soleimani was a major escalation in the Trump administration's maximum pressure campaign on Iran. Up until now, that campaign largely relied on crippling economic sanctions.
Hello. In a dramatic escalation of tensions in the Middle East, a U.S. airstrike has killed Iran's most important military commander. General Qasem Soleimani was the commander of the Quds Force, Iran's elite revolutionary guards. They are responsible for Iranian foreign military operations and answer directly to the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Well, General Soleimani, who for many was seen as a charismatic national hero at home, was one of several people killed by a US drone strike as he travelled in a convoy near Baghdad's international airport. Iran has declared 3 days of national mourning and promised harsh vengeance. The Pentagon says the operation was carried out at the direction of President Trump.
Hey, Assalamualaikum, and good day to all of you. How are you? Today we're going to talk about a political issue. Earlier this year, the international political world was rocked by the news of the assassination of General Qasem Soleimani. Thus, in this video, I and the team members will tell you the background of the case, the latest developments, and the case, and the latest development on the case, the best way to resolve the case, and the implication of the case. So, who is General Qasem Soleimani? General Qasem Soleimani was an Iranian major general in the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC), commander of its Quds Force, a division primarily responsible for extraterritorial military and covert operations. General Qasem Soleimani was considered as the second most powerful person in Iran after Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. But the question is, why? Quds Force has been called as a terrorist by United States because, according to United States, they are responsible for the death of hundreds of US personnel in Iraq on an attack in December 2019. US justified that the assassination was necessary to stop an imminent threat, to protect United States personnel, to deter Iran from conducting or supporting further attacks, and to end Iran's strategic escalation of attacks. So how General Qasem Soleimani was killed? General Qasem Soleimani was killed by a drone strike using an authorized vehicle or UAV model MQ-9 Reaper owned by the US Air Force. He was killed in a convoy when the convoy were leaving the Baghdad airport near a cargo area on 3 January 2020 about 1 a.m. local time. So I think that's it, the brief background on the assassination of General Qasem Soleimani, and I will let my colleague to explain furthermore in order for you to have a better understanding for this case. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Hafizuddin bin Hashim. My metro number is 259552. On my part, I will tell you guys the current development and the current condition between United States and Iran after the killing of Qasem Soleimani. Does killing Soleimani is a good idea? I don't think so. Following the assassination of Qasem Soleimani by the United States government, the relationship between both states has become worse, and Iran has become close toward the US and its ally. By killing Soleimani, the United States has destroyed their relationship between Iran. Trade relations also been affected, where revenue generated by both states started to decline and result in significant losses. Today, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani said his country's top goal is now to force US troops out of Middle East, and Trump has begun to step up, increasing their military capability to deterring the Iran. This tension also escalated two major events in Baghdad and US military camp in Iraq. On 11 March 2020, Iranian rocket has attacked two camps in Taji in Iraq, killed 2 US military and 1 medic British who served the US. 2 days after that, 13 March 2020, US forces used main aircraft to attack weapon sites associated in Baghdad because that sites have linked with Iranian. Until today, there are no peace solution has been adopted by two countries. They are still stubborn and continue to draft military plan to test their strength. After the Iranian attack on US troops in Iraq that killed 3 US Army by using a rocket attack, the United States has taken a precaution step by upgrading their military capability and execute a higher level of military strategy to deter any further Iranian attack and also to protect US forces in Middle East. On March 2020, hundreds of US forces in Iraq were redeployed from smaller bases to a largest one in Iraq to ensure every corner of camp secure, protect from Iranian attack. Besides that, the United States also intensified its air and naval surveillance throughout the Middle East region and seek additional help from its allies to ensure that there is no second attack can be taken by the Iranian army as before. Furthermore, there were 14,000 soldiers were stationed at the baseline camp along the Persian Gulf to ensure that area was safe from Iranian military domination. By placing 60,000 additional forces US, is enough to show and to prove their preparedness to face any Iranian attacks. All of this to deter further Iranian attack and to protect US forces in Middle East. The Iranian government nowadays also take a comprehensive military strategy to deal with the United States and its allies' attacks, which has been seen continuously violates the international law to fulfill the Trump interests. What are the steps taken by Iran? Actually, there are 3 steps taken by Iran. The first is by launching a military satellites program. On 20th April, the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps is a branch of Iranian armed forces has launched a military satellites into orbit for defense purposes. This program can enhance their military capability to detect any foreign drone that be used by US in the process of Iranian skies. The second operation is Operation Mati Soleimani. On January 8, Iranian ballistic missile strike on 2 Iraqi forces. Iran fired several missiles into the Iraq, attacking the US military base, which appears to be the retributions for the recent American drone strikes that killed one of its top generals. The last attacks made by Iran is enforced terrorist group. As we know, Iran is full of terrorists. So, Iran could also encourage any terrorist organization or any proxies to strike US troops inside Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates and other Gulf nations. Last year, Iranian government has planned and executed drone strike on the 2 major Saudis oil facility deep inside the kingdom that has caused the convulsing world market. Iranian also has used deterrent strategy. Listen, we are warning all Americans alike who gave their bases to terrorist army that any territory that is starting point of aggressive acts against Iran will be targeted. So this is the serious method by Iran. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vikram Ratop. My matrix number is 702060. Here I'm going to explain about 2 points. The first is about the best way to solve the problem regarding to the case killing of Qasem Soleimani, which causes the conflict between United States of America and Islamic Republic of Iran. The second point that I'm going to explain about is the implication from this conflict to the another country, which is in international scope. To solve this problem, we are offering the solution that is conciliation and facilitation, which is consists of 3 parties. The first is United Nations as an international organization which has a duty and big responsibility to maintain the war in peace condition and avoid the war among states, which is has a role as mediator. And the second is United States of America as the country which is in the conflict, and the third is Islamic Republic of Iran, which country that is in conflict. In conciliation, United Nations as a mediator should explain each of them rules to make they understand the purpose of that conciliation. The second is United Nations should make interview with both parties, which is consists of the government of Islam, the government of Islamic Republic of Iran, and the government of United States of America, in order to know their national interest, to collect all of them in one document, and in the end of the reconciliation will agree on that agreement and sign as their responsibility to implement that result. If the reconciliation and facilitation is failed to solve this problem, the implication that happen in the international, the first is political crisis, the second is economic crisis. As we know that United States of America has big influence in the world, and United States of America called a superpower, which is causes the political condition in the world and determine the political condition in the world. If United States of America in conflict, of course there will be a fierce political conflict. And the second is economic crisis. As we know that Iran is one of the big country that produce or has a lot of oil, and Iran has alliance called as Russia. If Iran conflict with United States of America, of course Russia will help Iran, and it will create the economic crisis, because for your information, Iran allocate the budgeting for economic activity in Iran to the budgeting to increase the weapon and something like, you know, to help them in war condition. So it is dangerous for the world. That's all about my part. Thank you very much.